Welcome back, Warrior. We're reading Genesis chapter 28, and we're trying to be productive by leaving our scrub mask on, and it is amazing. Also, we're listening to the Frozen Let It Go because we have our little girl watching, and so we're going to keep that going. Hopefully, it's just like a nice background and you can still hear me good. Okay, Isaac forbids Jacob to marry a Canaanite. He blesses Jacob and his seed with the blessings of Abraham. Esau marries a daughter of Ishmael. Jacob sees in vision a ladder reaching up into heaven. The Lord promises him seed as the dust of the earth in number. The Lord also promises Jacob that in him and his seed, all the families of the earth will be blessed. Jacob covenants to pay tithes. Okay. So, we're going to get started. Verse 1. And Isaac called Jacob and blessed him and charged him and said unto him, Thou shalt not take a wife of the daughters of Canaan. Arise, go to Paddan Aram, to the house of Bethuel, thy mother's father, and take thee a wife from thence of the daughters of Laban, thy mother's brother. So, his uncle. And God Almighty bless thee and make thee fruitful and multiply thee, that thou mayest be a multitude of people, and give thee the blessing of Abraham to thee and thy seed with thee, that thou mayest inherit the land wherein thou art a stranger, which God gave unto Abraham. And Isaac sent away Jacob, and he went to Paddan Aram unto Laban's son of Bethuel the Syrian, the brother of Rebekah, Jacob's and Esau's mother. When Esau saw that Isaac had blessed Jacob and sent him away to Paddan Aram to take him a wife from thence, and that as he blessed him, he gave him a charge, saying, Thou shalt not take a wife of the daughters of Canaan. And that Jacob obeyed his father and his mother and was gone to Paddan Aram. And Esau, seeing that the daughters of Canaan pleased not Isaac his father, okay, let's be honest, who here does the opposite of what their parents asked them to do? I'm sad to report that that is me, right? It's sad. I don't know what it is. It's like I want to not, but then I do, you know? I want to be obedient to the parents, right? But somehow I think it must be like an older, like the oldest sibling thing, because Esau was the oldest one. So it's definitely like a trait, I think, that oldest siblings have, maybe like your first child, like the child that's the oldest. What does that child love to do and not to do, right? Like, think about that for a minute, and think about if you're the oldest child or middle child or last child or whatever, how does this affect you, right? Like, there's certain dynamics from that. Anyway, okay. So, then went Esau unto Ishmael and took unto the wives which he had Mahalath, the daughter of Ishmael, Abraham's son, the sister of Nebajoth, to be his wife. And Jacob went out from Beersheba and went toward Haran. And he lighted upon a certain place and tarried there all night, because the sun was set. And he took of the stones of that place and put them for his pillows. Okay. Regular Flintstone. Okay. And lay down in that place to sleep. No thanks for a pillow of stones, right? And he dreamed, and behold, a ladder set up. Okay, wait, before we talk about the dream, we're on verse 12. There's a quote, there's some stuff here from the redheaded hostess. If it will just now come up on the app, because it was there and now it's gone. Hold on. Okay, so, a covenant-keeping woman. This is what we're going to be talking about here. So it says, Jacob left his home because he knew that his brother Esau had conspired to kill him once their father Isaac died. Right? That's normal, right? Like, if somebody's wanting to kill you, you should leave. Like, this is normal behavior. Before Jacob left, Isaac blessed and charged or directed Jacob. It was time for Jacob to find a wife, and Isaac told him that he must not choose a Canaanite woman. Canaanites were idol worshippers, and Jacob needed a covenant-keeping wife because the Abrahamic covenant needed to continue with him. The Abrahamic covenant includes all of the gospel covenants with some added responsibilities and promises for Abraham's lineage. Okay, I never started my walk on my watch. Okay, having a covenant-keeping, stalwart, and committed wife was critical. He needed to find his own Sarah and Rebekah, right? Jacob, therefore, prepared to travel to his mother's hometown, the same place Abraham's servant went to find a wife for Isaac. President Nelson spoke of the influence of covenant-keeping women. Notice what he said about the covenant-keeping women in this last dispensation. This is so good. Okay, here we go. President Nelson, a plea to my sisters. Seriously, the best talk. I just got chills just reading the title, okay, because it is that powerful. I've read it many times when I've needed strength. And I sure miss President Nelson. It's weird to have, to be on the earth where he is not, right? But I am so grateful for President Oaks. He is so inspired. And working through reading his talks, Okay, so these stalwart women have shown the strength and courage that covenant-keeping women always demonstrate. It would be impossible to measure the influence that such women have, not only on families, but also on the Lord's church as wives, mothers, and grandmothers, as sisters and aunts, as teachers and leaders, and especially as exemplars and devout defenders of the faith. This has been true in every gospel dispensation since the days of Adam and Eve. Yet the women of this dispensation are distinct from the women of any other, because this dispensation is distinct from any other. This distinction brings both privileges and responsibilities. End quote. Love him. Love prophets of the Lord. They just know what to say and how to say it to us. Okay, verse 12. And he dreamed, and behold, a ladder set up on the earth, and the top of it reached to heaven. And behold, the angels of God ascending and descending on it. And behold, the Lord stood above it and said, I am the Lord God of Abraham thy father, and the God of Isaac. The land whereon thou liest, to thee will I give it, and to thy seed. And thy seed shall be as the dust of the earth, and thou shalt spread abroad to the west, and to the east, and to the north, and to the south. And in thee and in thy seed shall all the families of the earth be blessed. And behold, I am with thee, and will keep thee in all places whither thou goest, and will bring thee again into this land. For I will not leave thee until I have done that which I have spoken to thee of. And Jacob awakened out of his sleep, and he said, surely the Lord is in this place, and I knew it not. Oh, I love that. And I think that the Lord is in any place that we are, right? And Sister Dalton always talks about how we can create a holy place where we are, as long as we are holy or doing something holy, we can make that place holy. So it doesn't matter where you are. Yes, going to the temple is the number one place that you want to be. But second is our home, is what we've been told by President Nelson. And third is any place we are, we can make a holy place, right? Okay. And he was afraid and said, how dreadful is this place? This is none other but the house of God, and this is the gate of heaven. And Jacob rose up early in the morning and took the stone that he had put for his pillows and set it up for a pillar and poured oil upon the top of it. And he called the name of the place Bethel. But the name of that city was called Luz at the first. And Jacob vowed a vow, saying, if God will be with me, will keep me in this way that I go, and will give me bread to eat and raiment to put on, so that I come again to my father's house in peace, then shall the Lord be my God. And this stone which I have set for a pillar shall be God's house, and of all that thou shalt give me, I will surely give the 10th unto thee. Okay, so he's saying he's going to pay his tithing. Good job. Here's another quote. And it's, sorry, I'm getting stuff in my eye. Okay. When Jacob, so this is a quote. It says from President Marion G. Romney. Okay. It says, when Jacob traveled from Beersheba toward Haran, he had a dream in which he saw himself. Hello. but he saw himself on the earth at the foot of a ladder that reached to heaven, where the Lord stood above it. How are you? Good? Okay. He beheld angels ascending and descending thereon, and Jacob realized that the covenants he made with the Lord, there were the rungs of the ladder that he himself would have to climb in order to obtain the promised blessings that would entitle him to enter heaven and associate with the Lord. Temples are to us all what Bethel was to Jacob. Even more, they are also the gates to heaven for all of our unendowed kindred dead. We should all do our duty in bringing our loved ones through them. End quote. President Marion G. Romney, Temples, the Gates of Heaven. Ensign, March 1971. Okay, so we actually have the Linden Temple here. The open house is going to start March 12th, so just on Thursday or whatever, and it is awesome. And I really love that our middle child is inviting his friends. He's like, I really want to do another temple open house trip. So we invited all his friends. Well, not all, because they couldn't all fit. But we invited a lot of his friends to come with us to the temple open house. And a lot of the parents are like, oh, great idea, And so I just love that he's already thinking of, let's go to the temple, like this is the place where we want to be. And it's so close to the school that the children are going to be in. It's just like awesome. Okay, so then Jacob was learning about covenant making and progressing towards God. The word Bethel means house of God. Imagine how this experience would have changed Jacob. This gives us greater insight into the hymn, Nearer My God to Thee, when we sing the phrase, out of my stony griefs, Bethel I'll raise. Oh, I didn't even know that. That is so cool. Jacob's journey would have been around 500 miles, and it would not have been an easy journey. Okay, I'm not trying to pretend that I can walk 500 miles, but maybe that's where the song came. And I will walk 5,000 or 500 more. Anyway, okay. Here's the chapter. Here in this chapter, Jacob finally arrived. Okay, so this is chapter 29. So we're going to stop here because this is the end of Genesis chapter 28. So until Genesis chapter 29, stay strong, warrior, and wash your face. But also, I love the exfoliation stuff that they put in this, because it just really gets on my, it's like the super grainy stuff I love. It's just very sensory. It's so good. Anyway, I was like, I would just scrub my face to death, all day if I could. Anyway, it feels so good. Okay, I'm excited to wash it off. Okay, bye.